a new backup energy solution for your home. Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. Joining us from BioLite is VP of Product Management, Ryan Gist. Hi, Ryan.
Hi, good to see you, Fred.
Great to see you too. Now, BioLite is a company that's been innovating and doing great work for years. Before we jump into the excitement here, give our audience a little more about the background.
Yeah, sure. Well, BioLite, we like to say we're on a mission to bring energy to everyone. And myself, I've been on the team a little over a decade, working on the engineering side first, and now in product management. But my day started with one of our early products, which was a camp stove that converted heat into electricity through a pretty magical technical process using a thermoelectric generator. And we took that technology also into the emerging markets where we were working with families in Africa that needed access to clean cooking and access to energy. And we found pretty quickly that there were a lot of other opportunities there with solar home lighting kits and small solar installations for those kind of customers. So we've seen both sides of our business grow over the last decade within the sort of camping and recreation space where we do, cooking solutions, but also headlamps and charging and power stations and lanterns. And then in that emerging markets context where we have really grown up the energy ladder with our customer from small scale solar lanterns into multi-light solar home lighting and energy storage systems into even larger lithium backup storage systems that deliver, useful appliances like televisions and fans and radios. And we're now moving into sort of a new era at BioLite, which is in the grid backup space, again, for both of those markets. And in the US, we have a pretty novel concept for something we call backup by BioLite, which is a consumer installed backup solution for your home. And so today, that's really the product that I want to focus on talking about.
No, 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 no. Oh.
Oh no.
You guys, this is bad.
Mom!
Ooh, no.
What's for dinner?
Well, let's get into it here. Let's go through the product and how it's used.
So this is Backup by BioLite, introducing for the first time here. We will be doing a pre-sale kind of crowdfunding program through Kickstarter. That's going to kick off on September the 18th. So hopefully all your viewers can jump over to Kickstarter and back the campaign over there. But today we're going to talk about BioLite Backup, and we're going to go through a little bit of the overview of what the product is, what some of the key specs are, why the product's so important, why we saw the opportunity for the product, a little bit about sort of its capacity and what it can do. And then, where we're going with the campaign from there.
Terrific. Well, let's get into it. Tell us what this is and what it can do.
For sure. Yeah, so backup is a first of its kind. It's a self-installed automatic backup energy system for your home. So it provides instant power to critical devices so you can live without disruption during a power outage. It can provide up to 60 hours of power in key rooms like your kitchen, 30 to 60 hours to back up your refrigerator and key appliances in your kitchen. Importantly, it does not require any permitting or professional contractor or electrician for the installation. We like to say you can go from box to backup in 30 minutes or less. So if you can hang a flat screen TV in your home, you can certainly set up a backup by BioLite. So very easy self-installation. It's a lithium iron phosphate energy storage system that's got multiple layers of safety built in, as well as lots of third-party testing and certification. We'll be going through UL certification, UN 383, and have applied all of the over 10 years worth of lithium energy storage solution experience it has to making sure this is a super safe and reliable product. So you can kind of see over here a couple shots of how BioLite backup may fit into your home. In the upper right, you can kind of see it tucked in behind the refrigerator, and the product is super slim. It's less than 3 inches thin in the thinnest dimension, and that's by design. So the design team here did a bunch of surveys of typical kitchens across the US, a bunch of trips to Home Depot and Lowe's, and looked at different typical kitchen installations, and we found by doing a couple of things, by shrinking that one dimension of the product and also by breaking up the product into modular units that can be scaled to the size of energy backup that you're trying to do, it's able to fit into a lot of different typical kitchen spaces. And so really, when the power goes out, a lot of families, the first thing they think about is the food in their refrigerator, wanting to keep that safe for their families. So the form factor is specifically designed to fit in the gap above your refrigerator or behind the refrigerator, where we typically see 4 inches or so worth of extra space. It can fit into cabinetry. It can be hung underneath cabinets. So it's a very flexible design that's really aimed at that kitchen area. And then because it is sort of a modular and scalable system, you can also apply it in other rooms in the home. If you have, a medical application like the person in the photo here, or if you're trying to back up a home office, a nursery, an entertainment center, lots of different potential uses. And when we started development on this product, we saw some real opportunity and white space between the 2 types of home backup options that customers have today. And so if you're looking for a way to make your home more resilient to a power outage, traditionally you can have 2 sets of options. You've got the portable power stations and portable gas generators, or you've got the professionally installed full home systems. And those full home systems, start at $10,000 or $15,000, go up 20, 25,000 from there. They require you to be a homeowner. They require you to get permitting and often with your utility. So they're just it's a very large investment and unobtainable for a lot of customers. And then on the other side, with the portable solutions, we'd looked at the experience of a portable power station during an outage, and it was just not a very good experience. If you have an outage, then you have to go find where the portable power station is being stored. Maybe it's in your garage or in a closet. You hope that you remembered to get it fully charged, and then it's full. Now you've got to lug it up the stairs or out of the closet into the room where you want to use it. If you're trying to back up your refrigerator, now you've got a new problem of having to pull your refrigerator out and start running cords to it, running extension cords to other devices that you want to try to power. And so what we tried to do with Backup by BioLite is really deliver that instant, automatic, seamless experience that a whole home backup solution provides, but at a fraction of the cost. So it's very affordable, and with this modular scalable system so that you can apply it to the appliances and room areas in your home that you really care about most.
So that's interesting. You would envision then homes having multiple units, I assume then.
Potentially, yeah. As I said, when we survey our customers, the first thing that comes to mind is typically the refrigerator in the kitchen. And the product comes with its own accessory, which is sort of like a power strip extension. So the idea being that you can mount it behind or above your refrigerator, put it somewhere sort of out of sight, out of mind, and then have this power strip out to the countertop so that in the event of an outage, you can start to connect to your microwave or your coffee maker or whatever else you need to back up alongside of it. And so I've mentioned a couple of times that it's a modular scalable system. The 2 sort of primary size options that we're going to be offering here are the core and the complete kit. So that complete kit is made up of a core plus 1 what we call extend battery. And so that core and each of these extend batteries are each 1.5 kilowatt hours of lithium iron phosphate battery backup. And really the complete kit, which is 3 kilowatt hours total, is a great size for that kitchen backup application. And if you want to make sure your fridge stays backed up and you want to do some cooking, some lighting, recharge your phones and laptops, you can get typically about 2 days worth of energy backup in an outage from that complete kit. So that's kind of the flagship model. We think it's the best fit for the kitchen. And then, yeah, as you said, you could put a core, behind your desk for a home office or behind the entertainment center. If you have a big tropical fish tank, we can back that up. There's lots of different potential applications for it. The whole system, sorry, I'm just going to keep talking here and then you can jump in and ask some questions, but the whole system is IoT connected, so both through Bluetooth and Wi-Fi wireless. We'll have an app that comes for free with the product and really allows for that complete experience with the product. And again, it's instant and automatic backup, whether you're home or away. So if the power does go out when you're not at home, you'll get a notification on your phone check in through the dashboard to see the system status, make sure you know that your food is safe or your other devices are connected, and you'll get some metrics around how long you have in terms of backup and where your energy is going.
Can it be charged through, say, solar while it's being used, or is
It could, yeah. So we really envision the primary application as more of a grid backup and resiliency application. So it's always plugged in through a standard wall outlet, and then it's got two outlets that will behave just like a standard wall outlet, one of which we would recommend you put to the extension cord power strip accessory that I talked about. But if it's plugged in all the time, then it's constantly keeping itself refilled. It can charge up while it's providing power through the inverter. And then when you connect an additional 1.5 kilowatt hour module, you do that through our DC connector cable. And that DC converter, which is used to move power from the core to the extend batteries, can also be used as a solar input. So if you're in a situation where you want to extend your backup, longer than the 2 days that you have in the battery capacity, you could set up some folding panels and connect them there. If you're the type of customer that wants to use solar more on a regular basis, you could run a wire in to that DC input and use solar there. It's got a maximum power point tracking algorithm, so very high efficiency on that DC power transfer side and for the solar application. And we will be offering some foldable solar arrays that scale up from 400 watts to probably 1200 watts additional to the product.
what can you tell us about pricing?
Yeah, so we're about to go on a pre-sale at Kickstarter. That flagship 3 kilowatt hour storage solution will have a $29.99 starting MRP. Kickstarter backers will get up to 35% off of that. And then I have actually not mentioned it yet, but one of the key reasons for the complete kit being sized at 3 kilowatt hours is that's the threshold for qualifying for the federal tax credit. So you can also get another 30% of the purchase price back through your tax return that following year.
So it would be 35% off the $3,000
And then 30%
really on
off that after
Kickstarter, and
tax
then
credit.
another 30%.
Yeah, which would bring you all the way down to $1,364.
Very attractive for a lot of people. Now, tell me, this is not designed for some things, I assume, like you're not going to be running the heating and cooling in a home, or like,
Yeah, we don't really recommend it for that. That's really kind of a
or a
step
well
change in
pump,
terms
for
of energy.
instance.
Yeah, if you've got a small sump pump, you could be running that in an emergency. But you're right, something like a big well pump, or certainly central air conditioning, this is not a good fit for those applications. You could run fans, you could run a small window AC for a couple hours, but really the primary use case here is to back up your refrigerator, to keep your essential appliances running in your kitchen and in your bedrooms, and make sure you can do that instantly and automatically.
If you wanted more than one of these complete kits in a household, can you do that? And do they work together?
Certainly. They will all be connected through the IoT and the mobile app, so you can check in to see how the whole system is working in a single dashboard interface on your phone. But physically, you would only connect the units that are sitting next to each other. So you start with that core unit, which is 1.5 kilowatt hours. If you have the complete, that adds one of the extends to get you to 3 kilowatt hours. You can stack 4, 5, 6 of those. If you had a certain application where you wanted to get up to 10 kilowatt hours, you can do that through the modular system.
Really sounds terrific. A lot of innovation going on here. And so you're going on Kickstarter with this, and we know what the pricing is. When do you expect to ship units?
Yeah, we expect to be able to get X Factory in March next year and be delivering by May.
What are some of the advantages you feel over the competition that you have? You've touched on some already, but there are lots of battery systems out there today for people, and of course we've had the various generators, gasoline, propane, and natural gas generators that for home backup.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think you touched a minute ago on some of the engineering that went into this and some of the innovative design that's been applied. And I think for sure that that's really tied to some of the benefits. We've worked to really shrink the size of all the internal electronics and really push the efficiency in all the modules of the system. So the inverter, which is sort of the key component that converts the battery energy into AC power for your home, uses a technology called gallium nitride, or GaN, and that's a new kind of semiconductor material that's a lot more efficient than silicone, which allows for higher efficiency and less heat loss. And then we've coupled that with the thermal management system in the product being integral to the enclosure itself. So rather than requiring a bunch of additional fans and heat sinking internal to the product, we've kind of inverted all that and turned the main enclosure itself into the aluminum heat sink. And so all that, the heat gets dissipated through the enclosure, and because of the higher efficiency, there's less of that heat to dump. So overall it makes for the most compact, 1800 watt inverter system around, and keeps things very high efficiency, keeps things very lightweight, so you can handle one of these things yourself, do the install, again, without an electrician or a contractor, and just makes for a very slim and manageable factor in the product, which I think is kind of the most important innovation. And then relative to some of those other options, the traditional natural gas fossil fuel type options, this is silent. It's very safe. It's very reliable. You don't have to worry about fumes. You don't have to worry about noise that's going to bother your neighbors. You don't have to worry about running out of gas. So we just think it's a very, very elegant solution, very simple for, customers that are maybe intimidated by a whole home backup installation, or turned off by some of the downsides of those other generator options.
Very exciting. So tell us, Ryan, about the installation. Does this hang on the wall typically? Is that what people would do? And
It can, yeah, that's
screws in the
one of the
wall, or
installations. Like I said, in a lot of homes that we have surveyed, there's often a bit of a gap right above the refrigerator, and that's the easiest installation there is. There's really no mounting at all. You just need to rest the product up on top of the refrigerator, some little standoffs to provide an air gap and some grip, and then you just need to plug in the main power cord into an outlet, the other cable from your fridge into the output, run the extension and power strip out to the countertop, where it's got a magnet so you can put it on the side of the fridge, and you're all set. So that's sort of the simplest installation. And then it does come in the kit with a vertical mounting bracket. So simple drywall anchors, again, just like hanging a flat screen TV, put in 6 screws, hang the thing and put in a set screw, and it's mounted to the wall. And then we'll be offering also something we call kind of the omnidirectional bracket as a purchase accessory, where you can mount it horizontal underneath the desk or invert it up underneath the cabinet. So lots of different ways to install it.
so it is a bit of an investment, even with all the breaks. Tell us how long they would be expected to last. What would be the lifespan of something like this?
Yeah, we definitely want this product to be reliable for years and years. It's designed for a 10-year life, and we've actually worked very closely with our lithium-ion battery supplier on a cell type that is really high energy density, but also extremely safe and extremely reliable in terms of its cycle capacity. So we get over 4,000 cycles with more than 80% of the initial capacity, which means you could be doing daily full charge and discharge cycles every single day for over 10 years.
That would be very unlikely, I suppose,
Yes.
unless
Yeah.
you were using this and I guess it could be used in an off-grid kind of scenario if people
It
want.
could, yeah. That's not really the primary design case, but it certainly could be used in an off-grid scenario. You could certainly pair it with solar and run it that way. There's also, an application for some customers around load shedding and time of use plans. So a lot of utilities out there now offer time of use programs where electricity is expensive during peak hours, but is less expensive during off peak. And so you could use the system to your advantage for that, where you kind of fill it up while electricity is cheap, use it from the battery when it's expensive, and repeat that process on a daily basis. So there's functionality built into the mobile app to be able to pre-program that kind of thing.
And while it's designed to be stationary in use in the home, if you moved or had another home you were going to,
It moves with you. That's one of the benefits compared to some of these more bespoke installed systems. It should just move with you. And as I said, each one of the 1.5 kilowatt hour modules you can pick up by yourself. It's a little under 40 pounds. And so there is even, a little bit more of a fringe application where if you had the complete kit, the core could be stationary with your refrigerator. You could use some of the energy and then take the reserve unit off, let the core keep running, move to, the next neighborhood over where there's power, refill that unit, and then bring it back. And it's all sort of plug and play and hot swappable. So you could do that.
Exciting. For more info, where can people go?
Yeah, bioliteenergy.com is the webpage. And then we'll share you some more information for the Kickstarter campaign, but it's Backup by BioLite on Kickstarter.
Ryan Gist, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thank you, Fred.